course of your day.
Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fello. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story, troops have arrived in Illinois.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for John McCure, not going to run for Wisconsin governor.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have some delays along southbound 894. Yeah, out of the Zoo interchange all the way down to Lincoln, believe it or not. So this is going to be affecting your ride a bit on the eastbound side of 94 as well, as we're seeing big delays from Highway 100 into the Zoo interchange, swinging to go southbound. So just be extra careful with that. We've got more delays than on eastbound 94 from about 84th Street all the way through the stadium to 35th. Westbound slowing down from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound on 41, heavy from Mayfair Road all the way up already to Capitol Drive. Southbound's going to be slow right past the county line to Good Hope, and then back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, a low of 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and cooler, a high of 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, National Guard troops from Texas have arrived at an Army Reserve in Illinois. Yesterday, Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott posted a picture on social media showing National Guard members from his state boarding a plane, didn't specify where. Now we know they're in Illinois. And it comes as the state leaders filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration to stop the deployment. Military personnel in uniforms with Texas National Guard patches were seen at the U.S. Army Reserve Center in Elwood. That's in far southwestern suburbs of Chicago.
Unions for federal workers are furious over President Trump's threat to withhold back pay from furloughed federal workers. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
The president says there are some people that don't deserve to be taken care of, and House Speaker Mike Johnson says this should up the ante for Democrats.
That should turn up the urgency and the necessity of the Democrats doing the right thing here.
But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries accuses the Trump administration of torturing federal employees from the start.
Engaging in mass firings, harassing them, brutalizing them, laying people off.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
A memo from the Office of Management and Budget says any back pay must be provided by Congress if it chooses to do so as part of any bill to fund the federal government.
Decision Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul will not run for re-election. He's not running for governor. He is running for re-election for his seat, Attorney General.
Kaul will seek a third term, ending speculation that he was planning to run for governor. He was first elected as the state's top law enforcement official in 2018 and won re-election in 2022. While in office, Kaul successfully pushed the state Supreme Court to strike down the state's abortion ban this year that was put back into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The general election will be held in November of next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Closer to home, testimony continues into legislation to bring red light cameras to large cities like Milwaukee. The red light camera legislation would include placing 5 cameras in every aldermanic district around the city. State Senator Dora Drake tells our sister station 101.7 The Truth.
When this bill would be signed into law, the fines don't happen right away. We'll be partnering with DOT and the city, and there'll be signage of where those cameras would be set up. And then on top of that, then say you were running late for work and you did the most and you were going 20 miles an hour, you would get a notice in the mail. You wouldn't get a ticket right away.
Senator Drake says the cameras would also help law enforcement identify reckless drivers in vehicles with no license plates.
More and more skeptics at Milwaukee City Hall over plans to redevelop a downtown parking garage into a mass timber high-rise.
That skepticism is led by Alderman Bob Bauman, who told the Zoning, Neighborhoods and Development Committee Tuesday developer Neutral can't deliver on plans to build a 55-story skyscraper on the current site of the Marcus Center parking garage. Bauman's concerns follow a pause on a separate Neutral development, the 31-story Edison, which is currently being reevaluated for cost-saving purposes. Bauman wants to restart the request for proposals process on the Marcus site. A decision by the committee could come within 30 days. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Do you need a ride to Game 3 of the NLDS? Grab a ticket on the Brewers Express. The Brewers are partnering with Amtrak to get fans down to Wrigley Field for Wednesday's game, which is October 8th. Brewers president and of business operations Rick Schlesinger tells WTMJ this isn't your typical train ride.
We're going to have T-shirts and rally towels and bratwursts, and we're going to have the mascots join the train, go down to Wrigley Field and root on the crew. So it's kind of a fun opportunity for us to, try to invade Wrigley Field, if you will, and bring some of the, hometown to Chicago and hopefully cheer on a victory on Wednesday.
The Brewers Express is scheduled to leave downtown Milwaukee at 8:05 a.m. tomorrow. That's Wednesday morning at 8:05 with a stop at Mitchell Airport on the way.
Coming up, Brewers Pat Murphy on Quinn Priester.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 3:06.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You probably don't have to replace those windows. If the frames are intact and it's just the glass that's cracked, or it's foggy, replacing thermal window panes with the help of Less's Glass will save you the cost of total window replacement. When you want to know how much we can save you, all you have to do is measure the height and width of just the glass portion of the window panes. Then send us an email to info@lessglassservice.com and we'll get you an estimate right away. Just be sure to specify if you'd like us to come out and replace your window pane on site, or if you'd like to do it in the most cost-effective way possible by bringing the windows into our shop. Either way, you're saving a lot of money versus a total window replacement that you probably don't need. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
There's no better place to catch the natural wonders of fall than Lake Geneva. Stroll a lakeshore path in a kaleidoscope of color. Explore winding rustic roads. Take a scenic boat tour or glide through a forest on a zip line. At night, stargaze from a historic observatory. Cozy up to a campfire or have a cocktail on the patio. Enjoy the seasonal bounty at orchards, wineries, and farms with flavors to savor. Plan your fall getaway now at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for fall fun.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are one win away from advancing to the NLCS after slugging their way to a 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2 of the NLDS. Quinn Priester will get the start for Milwaukee in Game 3 Wednesday. Manager Pat Murphy on the young right-hander's development.
This guy went from, being a AAA pitcher for the last couple of years to emerging as a real presence and giving his team a chance very often. And just to see that happen right before your eyes, and it's pretty special.
The Brewers go for a series sweep Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field with a 4:08 first pitch on WTMJ. And the Bucks opened the preseason with a win over the Heat, 103-93. Milwaukee's preseason continues at home Thursday against Detroit.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:09.
Well, we decided to develop our own mattress line just, I think, purely from a quality standpoint again.
We wanted to go the opposite way the industry was going. The industry was cheapening things, and we didn't believe in that.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
The entire mattress industry has gone to one-sided. We still believe, and I know in my heart, that a two-sided is going to last you longer. You can get more comfort out of it.
That's the reason that we put higher density foam in the mattresses, is so that they're comfortable for a longer period of time. It goes back to just wanting people to be happy, not now, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I want them to look back and say, wow, I bought that a long time ago and I'm still really happy with it. That's true in our mattresses, it's true in our furniture. We don't want you to buy something and 5 years from now you're like, oh, it's falling apart.
10 years from now, the customer shouldn't have to replace the mattress because it no longer supports them.
They can, but they don't have.
Right, and that's how we build it.
See more at pennymustard.com.
15, 20 years from now, that mattress is still going to have good support.
Somebody can still use it.
Yes, absolutely.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fello, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
What an incredible game. Oh my gosh. I watched the highlights on YouTube again like 4 times. Wasn't that fun?
Yes, a lot of people were thinking, oh man, they're not going to do it again. And I, as a matter of fact, our own Sandy Max, she was saying, oh, Telly, what do you think? And I said, well, the Yankees put up 12 runs in games 1 and 2. The Blue Jays put up 12 runs against the Yankees in games 1 and 2. And she was like, well, do you think the Brewers will put up 9 runs again? I was like, well, they're very capable, and they came close, putting up 7. So, again, I think, when a team is a team of destiny, there are very few things that are going to stop them from ultimately getting where they're supposed to be.
That's awesome. We'll be talking a lot more about the Brewers. We are your Brewers radio station. But first,
this is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Number 1, the Abundant Life school shooting. It was the Christian school that took place last December in Madison. It killed 2, not including the shooter, injured 6 others, including a teen who is still hospitalized. So I'd heard about this, and now we know the name. Samuel Martinez. His family is coming forward saying they need to raise money for his recovery. His parents say he was shot multiple times, including his head. He's in a coma, needs 24-hour care, and he has encephalitis. His family launched a GoFundMe with the goal of reaching $140,000. Apparently, there's a very specialized hospital and wing that deals with head trauma in Chicago, and they're trying to raise money to pay for all of that therapy.
Wow.
You can text fundraiser to 855-616-1620. Fundraiser to our Setting Limited Talk and Text line. It'll take you right to the GoFundMe page.
Yeah, Julia, when you talk about tragedies like that, you often just think about the people that lost lives. You don't think about the survivors. And, once that story is past, it's old, these are families that are still dealing with that tragic day in December. And so hopefully him and his family will be able to raise the money that they need to continue to get the care that he needs.
I know, I hope so too. Text fundraiser.
Yes. Number 2, live in Green Bay. You could score a free pizza today if your home has working smoke detectors. It's part of Fire Prevention Week, a push to raise awareness about the importance of smoke alarms. 3 out of 5 home fire deaths happen where alarms weren't working. Call Domino's on Military Avenue between 5 and 6:30 tonight, and the Green Bay Metro Fire Department will swing by in a truck. If your alarms work, your pizzas will be free. If not, they'll fix or install them for free. Also, be careful of lithium batteries. Damaged ones can explode. Stay safe and check your alarms.
All good advice. Number 3, Amazon Prime Day today. Runs today and tomorrow. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that Telly has never used Amazon. Ever.
I know that sounds like that is just straight blasphemy, but it's true.
So how do we shop? Where do we shop?
I don't do a lot of shopping, but if I go grocery shopping, I'll just go to my local grocery store and...
Okay, if I need electronics... and I'm Telly, where am I going?
Well, first off, I don't need electronics. If I want electronics, I'll just go to the store.
Best Buy, I'm assuming? Dude, I went to Best Buy just 2 weeks ago. They didn't have any of my plugs for my phone.
You can go to the dollar store and get plugs for your phone.
That's true. Okay. Oh, boy.
I know that sounds so crazy.
It is to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a pretty simple guy too, so I don't really need a lot.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't really need a lot.
I don't want to go on Amazon today, otherwise I'll spend more money. See, you're saving money. 3:15 on WTMJ. Debbie gets you home. We have your weather, and also WTMJ's Adam Roberts. He was credentialed to last night's game. He gives you behind the scenes next.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanner's Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanner's has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanner's, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanner's in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Hey, John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. I know that, and I know I get it with Pella. They've worked in our house, and we trust them inherently. A lot of customers maybe have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust Pella with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Gina Della leads an incredible team, whether it's in their showroom, which is incredible, the Experience Center in Brookfield, or whether it's when they're in your house, sitting down at the kitchen table or measuring up your stuff. Pella will get it done every single time, and the attention to detail they gave us, man, unbelievable. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month. You get 0% interest for up to 5 years. 0 for 5. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bride.
I wanted to get my frustration out because after sitting there watching all that stuff, I'm like, I've learned nothing.
What do you think should happen? Like, who do you blame right now?
I blame both sides.
But what's the solution? How do they move forward? Who is it beholden on to come up with a deal to get the 7 votes that they need in the Senate?
Someone other than Hakeem Jeffries, Speaker Mike Johnson, or John Thune.
Chuck Schumer.
Someone other than them taking leadership. They're fools.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lasaga.
All right, well, we got delays along eastbound 94 as you're making your way through the Zoo interchange. Then you're back on brakes 84th Street all the way to 35th. The westbound side's backing up from 17th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes west of Highway 100, all the way into Waukesha County. There is a crash in the left lane just past Sunny Slope Road, just before you get to Moreland. So just be extra careful if you're heading through there. That left lane, everybody has to smoosh over to the right, so just be careful. Southbound 43, you're looking at delays from Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. A little bit more delayed from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise. Northbound's looking actually pretty good at this point. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Afternoon sunshine today. Your high today was 65. Tonight, mostly clear, low 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and cooler, a high of 60. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 62. Friday, cloudy, a high of 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, 68 your high by the lake, 73 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, it is cloudy here at the Avenue and 63 degrees. 3:19 on WTMJ. Brewers leading the NLDS series 2-0. Let's take a look at the highlight here.
And a fly ball to center, hit well. PCA's back at the track. Wall, gone!
It's amazing. They need just
the lights are never too bright for the 21-year-old Jackson Churio.
That was amazing. And WTMJ's Adam Roberts was there at the electric game 2 of NLDS at home last night. Adam, what was that like when Churio did that?
So I'll tell you one thing. When I went into the press box, I had many goals, but one of my goals was every time that Jackson Churio was going to be up to bat, I wanted to capture that on film because there was all the talk going in. Is he going to play? How's the hamstring? And then when Murphy and the media avail just very candidly just said, yeah, he's playing. Same lineup. Like it was known all along that was going to be. I was like, all right, so now we all got to watch. How's he going to react? And as soon as that thing went over and PCA tried his best to get a ball that was 30 feet over his head.
Yeah, that was lame.
Went off. And by the way, I remember when I was on with you guys yesterday and you had asked me, okay, what's the crowd like? And I was like, it's tough to say because I'm inside and they're out. Any worry about whether or not they were going to pack that place on a Monday night was alleviated pretty quickly. 42,787, the attendance.
Wow.
Actually beat out Saturday's game 1, so no issue there.
No, not at all. And Adam, we were talking before the show, and there's a dynamic that a lot of people don't know that happens when you are a member of the media.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you can't do is cheer in the press box.
Correct.
And now you have a lot of Brewer fans that may have websites or podcasts and now are getting media passes. And what did you see the layout, or how was it in the press box last night in terms of media members making sure they kept their emotions intact?
I would say that for the most part, everyone played nice. Everyone followed the rules as they were. But you're right. It is sort of an interesting melting pot now of old school, traditional media. You've got the Journal Sentinel. You've got your TV cameras with everyone set up on top of us. And then you've got the radio, like us. And then some of the newer media in some from outlets that I had not seen before. But that happens with the playoffs. The pool expands, and that's why I appreciate Murphy whenever he starts his media availability in the interview room, always asks, all right, who are all the new faces here?
He
Go
can't
around
do
the
that
room.
once he gets to the major, the World Series. There's going to be hundreds.
Well, I mean, but baseball players, they are very routine. And everything. I mean, to play 162 games in 180 days, you got to have a routine. So, in Pat Murphy's defense, he's used to seeing the same people. When I was covering the Brewers, every press conference would start with Tom Hargicourt asking the question. And it was just kind of the ritual. And so I get it, especially when you're a small market team. Now, I get what you're saying. You're saying that, once you get to the World Series, the world's eyes are on you. Mm-hmm. But when you're a small market team, you're used to the same media members following you all year long. And so when you do start, I think that's actually pretty cool for him to say, all right, who are the new people so you can know this is how we do it. Like, just don't come in and start going away at questions and stuff. It's like, whoa. We don't do that. Mm-hmm. So I get that part.
I think either Todd Rosiak or Kurt Hogue from the JS has taken over the Tom role of getting that.
Okay, well, it's probably
and we'll go
Todd.
to Todd down in front, second row.
Yep. Yeah.
Adam, who else did you talk to?
So one of the cool things that I was keeping an eye on also last night, in addition to Churio, was once I heard Mizorowski was going to be pitching, I did not expect. I knew it was going to be a bullpen game once Ashby went an inning and 2/3, and then we started going through. Mears did his third of an inning. And then it was Miz time, and there was all that talk about leading into things like, okay, he didn't have a great end of the year. He's been bumped from a starter. Now he's going to be the reliever. Handled his business very well in 3 innings of work, including that final out. I believe it was the 3rd inning. He got Kelly to ground out, 1 hop to him, and then rather than flip it underneath to Vaughn at first, he's just like, I'm going to run it down. and he stepped on the bag and then flexed and got the crowd going like he's done at times in the regular season. And when I got to speak afterwards, I wanted to make sure I asked him about that.
Walk me through that thought process. When you get the one hopper from Kelly, you're walking over to first, you signal, I got this, to Vaughn.
I was honestly scared to, overthrow Vaughn or do something stupid. So it was more of I didn't want to mess something up, and it was more just the adrenaline was pumping and hands kind of locked up, and I was like, I can beat him. Let's just take it.
See, I understand that he was throwing 104 overhand, so he doesn't know his own strength sometimes. Hey, cool stuff coming up tomorrow, you guys. So the train rolls on quite literally for the Brewers playoffs. We got Game 3 at Wrigley Field tomorrow, and I'm going to be on the Brewers Express.
You're taking the train.
I'm taking the train with 300 of my best friends, Brewers fans, as well as the Sausages, Bernie Brewer. The 414s will be on the train. It's going to run down from the intermodal here, stop at the airport, and we're going down to Union Station. Still got to find your own way to Wrigley Field from downtown Chicago, so we maybe have to get Bernie on an L train and fit him into a red line and head north.
WTMJ's Adam Roberts, thank you. So fun. Time for news about your money and your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything slightly in the red. The Dow was down 91, S&P 500 down 25, NASDAQ down over 0.5%, down 153. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. The weather is brought to you by Sweet Talks Med Spa. Self-love starts at Sweet Talks.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Goldsmiths are essential to running a jewelry store.
but they're extremely hard to find.
Goldsmiths can repair jewelry, set diamonds, resize rings, and create beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces of custom jewelry.
Most jewelry stores do not have an in-house goldsmith.
But Kessler's has 18 wonderful goldsmiths working in our 9 Kessler stores.
The average Kessler's goldsmith has more than 15 years of full-time experience.
And that's not counting all the apprentice goldsmiths and jewelry designers.
Our goldsmiths repair a lot of jewelry that we did not sell.
Bring us your broken jewelry and we'll bring it back to life.
When you see a woman with an extremely attractive, very distinctive engagement ring,
you can safely assume that it's a custom-designed, one-of-a-kind ring made by the goldsmiths at Kessler's.
When your relationship is special, you need a special engagement ring.
If you want something that's breathtakingly one-of-a-kind,
come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
As the leaves start to turn and the air gets crisp, it's the perfect time to think about your outdoor space. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Go with the company I trust, Landworks Wisconsin. From stunning fall displays and holiday decorating to dormant pruning and bed cleanups, they're doing that for me. Landworks has you covered. The beauty of fall is all around us, and your garden and yard should be no exception. Enhance your outdoor space with professional services from Landworks. Make your home the envy of the neighborhood. Find your outdoor inspiration at landworkswisconsin.com, landworkswisconsin.com.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fello. Your top story this half hour. Police say a woman stabbed her family member over work.
I'm Telly Hughes, in for John Mercure. Funding found for a key program for mothers and children.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound 94, backing up a bit from 17th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard. And then again, back on the brakes just out of the zoo interchange all the way to where there is an accident just past Sunny Slope Road. It is off on the left shoulder. They removed it out of traffic, so at least we got that going for us. But those delays are still sticking around, so be careful. On the eastbound side, backing up from Highway 100 into the zoo. More delays from 84th Street all the way through the stadium interchange. And then on 41 southbound, heavy from just south of Main Street down to Good Hope Road. Back on the brakes from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight. The low will be 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit cooler, a high of 60 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, it's partly cloudy and 63 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. A woman is accused of stabbing her cousin on Milwaukee's South Side last month, now facing first-degree reckless homicide charges. 19-year-old Regina Hall is accused of killing Jaquavion Wright at their home near the Mitchell Park Domes. Prosecutors say in the court records the two had an argument about one getting a job where they worked at Taco Bell. According to court records, Hall admitted to the stabbing, but later said she didn't mean to do it, calling it self-defense. She's due back in court next week.
Lots of discussion during the public hearing about a state Senate bill that would bring red light cameras to parts of Milwaukee. Those in favor say the cameras would help curb reckless driving.
The proposed bill would bring 75 red light cameras to the city. Several residents speaking in favor of the legislation.
Far too many people have been hit and injured and too often killed.
Passing this bill will slow everybody down.
Some not so sure about the bill, including State Senator Van Wanggaard.
I'd rather have an officer there than take a snapshot and mail the owner the ticket.
The proposed legislation still needs to be approved by the committee before it can head to the full Senate. At the Summerfest grounds, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Red light cameras are currently prohibited under state law.
A program is in danger of running out of funding because the shutdown and they're having a hard time staying afloat.
The White House says it will use tariff revenue to continue to fund the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children known as WIC. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt issued a statement that says, quote, "The Trump White House will not allow impoverished mothers and their babies to go hungry because of the Democrats' political games." She called the use of tariff money a creative solution to fund the program. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Today marks 2 years since the October 7th attacks in Israel. Nearly 1,200 people died when Hamas militants attacked civilians in southern Israel, and hundreds of people were taken hostage. Israel's war in Gaza after the attack has led to more than 67,000 deaths there. ABC's Ian Pannell in Israel.
Phase 1 is supposed to envisage a ceasefire, the release of all 48 hostages, that's all remaining hostages, alive and dead. 20 or so are believed to still be alive, as well as a partial withdrawal. It's phase 2, where you get onto the issue of Hamas disarming, that things are going to get difficult.
This as negotiators from both sides are in Egypt trying to hammer out a ceasefire and long-term deal to end the war.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers are 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS after powering their way through. 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2. Quinn Priester gets a starting nod for Game 3. Tomorrow, he hasn't pitched since September 26th against the Reds. He says he's itching to get back out on the mound.
When I get a lot of time, I can want to tinker with stuff. I can feel certain things, but the whole thing is it's October and, we're not going to pull a magic pitch, out of thin air here. We just need to be really good and consistent with what we've been doing all year, knowing that that's going to create a good result.
First pitch at 4:08, and it airs right here on WTMJ, your home of the Brewers. And the Cincinnati Bengals make a quarterback trade ahead of their Week 6 matchup against the Packers. Joe Flacco heads to Cincinnati from Cleveland. Flacco and the Browns beat the Packers in Week 3. Cincinnati is expected to name their starting quarterback on Wednesday.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 3:36.
There are over 690,000 people whose lives are touched by the Wisconsin retirement system, which covers local police, firefighters, publicly employed teachers, and UWM system employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a special webinar. Understand your WRS potential on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Retirement planning can be complex. What does your most recent statement mean for your plan? How will it work with the rest of your financial portfolio? Is there anything you're missing? No matter your age or retirement status, learn more as we walk through pension scenarios and answer WRS questions. The Annex Wealth Management financial planning team is experienced when it comes to the WRS pension and assists many clients as they move to and through retirement. Understand your WRS potential is Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. It's a complimentary webinar and is open to anyone. More information and registration at annexwealth.com/events. Annex Wealth Management is a fee-only fiduciary specializing in investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Know the difference. It starts at annexwealth.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Julia, there is a story over the weekend that really caught my eye, but there was so much going on with the playoffs and college football and NFL football. But the story about ex-NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez, who is now a Fox Sports analyst, and he was in Indianapolis to cover the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts. And apparently he had gone out and may have done a little too much. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Because it resulted in Mark Sanchez being stabbed. And originally it seemed like he was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But when more information came out, it was told and recounted by witnesses that Mark Sanchez was the aggressor, and he attacked a 69-year-old grease truck driver.
What?
And yes. And so when the story first came out, it was, Mark Sanchez was involved in an incident. He was stabbed, and he's in the hospital, and he has some misdemeanors. So that was the story on Saturday night. This occurred a little after midnight on Saturday night in Indianapolis, downtown Indianapolis.
So was he trying to like park his car or something in front of the hotel?
So it was the driver of the box truck who was going to the loading dock, and the driver told police that Sanchez forced his way into the box truck and ordered him to move his vehicle, claiming to have spoken to the hotel manager. Confused, the driver, who had taken out his hearing aids due to the noise of the truck, leaned closer to try and hear Sanchez and reported that his breath smelled of alcohol and he was slurring his words, according to the affidavit. And Sanchez, in the meantime, allegedly blocked the driver from calling his supervisor before the fight broke out. And at one point, Sanchez allegedly body slammed the truck driver, who is 69 years old, by the way. And Mark Sanchez is 38. He slammed him into a wall and then threw him to the ground, at which point the driver said he pepper sprayed Sanchez.
When does the knife come in play? Who had the knife?
So Sanchez continued to approach him, and the driver said he pulled out his knife and stabbed the former quarterback several times in the chest and torso in self-defense. The driver of the truck said he felt like this guy was going to kill me. And so when police got more information about this, they upgraded those charges from misdemeanors to a level 5 felony battery of causing serious injury, because there are pictures of this grease truck driver and the slash on his cheek.
Big.
And so not only the slash is a slash on his cheek, but the knife penetrated his jaw and actually reached his tongue. So this was a very deep slash. This wasn't just a graze. And so Sanchez is in way more trouble. And according to the affidavit, he said he doesn't remember anything but just grabbing a window, and he didn't even know how he got stabbed.
Now he's facing more charges in prison time.
He could face up to 6 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. But the latest twist to this is the grease truck driver is not only suing Sanchez, but he's suing Fox Sports.
Oh, because of the alcohol or what?
Because apparently it's Fox Sports' fault that Mark Sanchez was in Indianapolis in the first place.
Oh.
So this guy is suing everybody. And the last thing you want to do is bring a lawsuit against your company when you do something in your personal time. So this isn't looking good. This to me started off as something that I'm sure Mark Sanchez had hoped would be an incident, kind of brush it away. But what Sanchez failed to realize is the fact that there are cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I'm sure they have gotten more footage, and that's the reason why they upgraded those charges. And also, the other reason why they did was because the extent of the victim's injuries as well as his age was taken into account. Again, 38-year-old former quarterback, NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez literally attacked this 69-year-old grease truck driver.
Wow. Okay. It's 3:42 on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They know our climate is all over the place. This means your home comfort system gets quite the workout. Constant adjustments need to be made to adapt to our volatile weather. Wisconsin prepares you to be ready for anything because anything happens. Fear not, because for over 42 years, my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating have lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, winter, even when they all seem to happen within the same week. Whether you're experiencing your next home comfort dilemma now or will be soon, call Dave Drake Camp Heating for free estimates on new equipment, routine maintenance, or just to ensure your system is ready for anything, or maybe because you have a simple question about your home comfort. Call Dave Drake Camp today. 262-367-2820. That's 262-367-2820. Dave Drakamp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakamp.com.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Does our Inspired Closets team make dreams come true?
Every day, Dan. From consultation to design to installation, the whole process is built around our clients.
Which is how we earn our 5-star reviews. It's our team that makes the difference.
Inspired Closets is more than just organization. It's an investment in you.
Get started today at inspiredclosets.com.
Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband.
Get back into the game or just get back to life. Go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Lots of people calling out sick with the government shutdown. ABC's Alex Stone will be talking about that. First, your traffic with Debbie Lazaga.
We still have an accident westbound 94 just west of Sunny Slope Road. It is off on the left shoulder, so be careful with that. Delays coming from about 84th Street all the way through the county line area to that accident scene. On the westbound side, also seeing backups from just before 27th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound 94, backups from Highway 100 into the Zoo interchange, then 84th Street all the way to 35th. Southbound on 43, we got backups from about Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. Back on the brakes from just before North Avenue, down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. More delays from Beecher Street down to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Air traffic controllers begin calling out with the government shutdown impacting their paychecks, especially. Alex Stone, ABC News, has more. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Julie, this happened a lot quicker than expected. In the last big shutdown, it took, I think, 34 days for the air traffic controllers who were not getting paid but ordered to work to begin calling in sick for work. And the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, saying they're already seeing it, that those who are thinking about their mortgage and how they pay for child care and everything else, that if you weren't getting paid but you had to work, that you'd have to deal with, and the sick calls are coming in.
We're tracking sick calls, sick leave, and have we had a slight tick up in sick calls? Yes. And then you'll see delays that come from that.
And so today the FAA is saying it does not have enough staffing for the air traffic control towers in Chicago and in Nashville and the centers that handle regions in Las Vegas, Houston, Boston, and the arrivals and departures in Newark, New Jersey. So this afternoon is going to be tough, and yesterday was not great. Last night, the centers in Denver, Phoenix, and Indianapolis to cover the wide areas there, they had shortages, and then there were no controllers at all who were available at the air traffic control tower in Burbank, California, and that's a busy airport. They have a lot of Southwest flights to go back to back to back, United, Delta, American, Frontier, other airlines. And for hours last night, the tower was shut down. They had to give the last clearances amid confusion of how this was going to go on. It sounded like this.
Southwest 1971, Burbank Tower, still open for a few. Wind 190 runway 8 clear.
So they got people in and out as quickly as they could, and then they shut it down.
Tower, Burbank Tower is closed. Monitor CTAP on 118.7.
So, Julie, once they did that, then they switched to controllers 150 miles away in San Diego for takeoff and landing clearances. But otherwise, pilots were on their own. The airport was open, but they had to announce, kind of like you would in a Cessna in a small airport that doesn't have a tower, their location and their intentions to all the other commercial aircraft in the area, you know, essentially saying, watch out, I'm taking off, everybody stay out of my way. And it sounded like this.
Burbank traffic, This Southwest 737, 2998, departing runway 15 at Burbank.
So that's telling all the other airplanes in the area, I'm rolling down the runway, watch out. And then when they would land, they would tell the other airplanes around them, okay, we're off the runway, it's clear for you now. And they had to do this from 4:15 in the evening until 10 o'clock at night because there were no controllers. And people who were flying out of Burbank, they said they didn't like it.
That's a little scary to think about it that way because you'd like to have somebody local that can see what's going on visually, right? It's a little scary, right? Like, I'm better run it myself.
But they had to do it last night. We'll see tonight in Chicago and Nashville and elsewhere. But Sean Duffy indicating that as this goes on, they know that there are going to be more and more sick calls and that this is going to be a problem.
Wow. ABC's Alex Stone, thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks.
So flights up the East Coast, there's certain routes that are advisories are warning about a 40-minute delay. Then we go out to Denver, 53-minute delay. Detroit, Teterboro, 40 to 60-minute delays. Las Vegas, as Alex Stone was talking about, it's now up to a 45-minute delay. To Phoenix, to San Diego. So could you imagine you're on a plane and they're just doing a visual now because there's not enough air traffic control, as Alex was talking about.
And just think about it, like how many like air traffic accidents or near accidents there have been when the air traffic controllers were fully staffed.
I know.
So just imagine, like if people start calling off sick and things of that nature. Now, we know it doesn't affect Air Force One. They'll always be able to get out. But what about the people that are traveling, the Americans that have to travel for their jobs and things of that nature? So this is a serious thing. And
no kidding.
I have a trip coming up in a couple of weeks. And Lord knows, I hope this is kind of settled before I get on the plane. I don't want to be one of the ones that's a passenger, and I'm wondering who in the heck is controlling this thing and where are those commands coming from?
Oh, my gosh. And John was saying the same thing because he's in Asia for 3 weeks. He's like, I hope this all gets figured out in 3 weeks.
Yes.
All right, let's get to your 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly clear, 47 by the lake. 39 inland will be your low. Wednesday, tomorrow, mostly sunny and cooler, a high of 60. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 62. Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 65. Saturday, mostly sunny, 68 your high by the lake, 73 inland. Kind of perfect fall weather right now.
Yes.
So if you're looking to stay closer to home, how about the Ware Nature Center's Halloween Haunts? The tickets sell out fast, so I want to give you a head start. It's from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. next Thursday and Friday. I spoke to Andrea Wallace with Milwaukee County Parks. She shares how this is all fun, not fright for you and your children. It includes 300 glowing jack-o'-lanterns along the trail.
We have hundreds of volunteers that come in days prior and carve all custom pumpkins, which is amazing as well. The trails will be lit with the jack-o'-lanterns, and then along the trail, there's different characters that'll act and tell stories that are nature related and fall related. It's a very educational opportunity. It's not scary at all. It's more that friendly family animal fun. For a couple of years, I may have dressed as an armadillo along the trail and how armadillos are migrating north. So they're not in Wisconsin quite yet, but there's been sightings in southern Illinois of armadillos, which again is really surprising and an interesting fact that you may learn along the trail.
Oh my goodness, where are they normally?
Usually they're down south, like Southwest. So you'll see armadillos in like Texas and maybe like Kansas, Oklahoma, that sort of area. And then there's been sightings in Illinois now.
You know, there's other things like talking owls, rapping bugs. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. The rapping bugs are some of my favorites. And there's also a witch and a pumpkin and a beaver and all about bones. So there's lots of different animals along the trail that'll give some educational tidbits, but also be very entertaining. We have somebody who dresses as a beaver and then talks about how they help the environment and kind of their process, and talks about their teeth and how they're harder than normal teeth. And so it's really just an educational piece on beavers in the Milwaukee area.
Do you think that this is worth it for children to come and their families?
Absolutely. So it is a great family activity. It is relatively inexpensive. And even if you don't have kids at home, it's a nice activity to go and be able to hike the trails at night and learn more just about Ware Nature Center.
Do you have any more information on the bone part?
So there's a skit that they do that talks about the different bones, and she has different skulls and different animal bones that she just talks about finding them on the trail and what they are. And she makes it really relatable as like she's trying to maybe do like a sale of the bones and the cool bones that she has. So it's a really interesting little skit that's really relatable to, more that 8, 9, 10-year-old.
Really fun. I spoke to Andrea Wallace, that's her, with Milwaukee County Parks. Tickets sell out fast. So it's next Thursday and Friday if you're interested. It's $15 per person. Go on Ware Nature Center to purchase your tickets. I have the link for you if you text Halloween. If you want to learn more about the tickets, text Halloween to 855-616-1620. That's our Setting Unlimited Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Much more still to come on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Greg Matzik created an incredible highlight reel of last night's incredible NLDS Game 2. I've listened to it several times already. You'll hear that at 4:08. 4:15, Green and Gold Insiders with Jason Wilde. A familiar name has popped up that may be playing the Packers again. We'll tell you more. 4:35, we go to Israel with CBS News. Linda Gradstein on the 2-year anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel. 48 people are still hostage. 20 believed to be alive. Their stories coming up. And at 4:45, Dr. John Raymond, President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, joins us with your weekly health briefing. It's all coming up on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Up next, your traffic, weather, top stories, and Debbie helps get you home. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The local makery is proposing adding a wine bar to its space on Ludington Avenue in Wauwatosa. The wine bar would include indoor service in the 610-square-foot workshop and outdoor seating in the 670-square-foot front yard. Carmen Schools of Science and Technology is halfway to its fundraising goal for its new $55 million high school project. The school has raised $7 million of its $15 million capital campaign for the 120,000 square foot school on Milwaukee's south side. Wingstop leases vacant space at a strip center in West Bend. Wingstop has expanded in recent years in Metro Milwaukee and now has 16 locations in the area. I'm Logan Hansen from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, now that the time is right and you're ready to make it happen, I can tell you this. We've installed hundreds of all-glass shower enclosures, and the one thing customers like best about them is that they have virtually no framework, and that's a positive on a number of levels. First off, the less framework you have, the easier your cleanup is going to be. And secondly, when you have virtually no framework on your all-glass shower enclosure, not only does the glass show well, but it also allows for the beautiful tile work that a lot of folks are having done these days to be a real aesthetic focal point. And when we install your all-glass shower enclosure with nearly maintenance-free shower guard glass, you're going to be cleaning it less and enjoying it a whole lot more. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Ho, ho, ho! Don't let Christmas shopping sneak up on you. It's Toyland time at Fleet Farm. We've stocked up on the hottest toys from brands like Lego, Barbie, Melissa and Doug, John Deere, and more. And get ready, our annual toy giveaway happens at 7 a.m. Saturday, October 11th, where the first 125 customers will get a free Toyland toy. Check out our selection of all things under the tree at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm. And don't forget to build the kids' wish list from our Toyland catalog at fleetfarm.com.
Planning for 2026 starts now. A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com. This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Want to save big on your next home improvement project? Visit EXTPros.com today for expert services at unbeatable prices.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It is 4 o'clock. I'm Julia Fello. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story: recovery continues for an injured Madison student.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for John McCure, the National Guard arrives in Illinois.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, backing up from Good Hope Road all the way past Silver Spring. You'll be back on the brakes from about Locust all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound slowing down over the high-rise bridge all the way up to about Locust as well. And then on westbound 94, you got backups from 17th Street all the way through the stadium to Mitchell Boulevard. And then from about 76th Street all the way through to about Sunny Slope Road in Waukesha County. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, a low of 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and cooler, a high of 60. Right now, it's sunny in Milwaukee and 64 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the family of the lone student still hospitalized from a school shooting last December in Madison is providing new details about his recovery.
It's been 10 months since the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, and Sammy Garduna Martinez's recovery has been slow. In a GoFundMe post, Sammy's mother says he was shot 2 or 3 times in the head, back, and arm. They call it a miracle he survived, and he's gone through extensive physical therapy as well as spine surgery. He's required a feeding tube and had a procedure on his vocal cords to help him speak. The Wisconsin State Journal says Sammy was to be discharged last spring but had a setback and remains in the hospital. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Sammy's family is still hoping to move him to a specialized rehab hospital near Chicago. The family's GoFundMe account has raised nearly $100,000 this week.
A woman who stabbed her cousin on Milwaukee's South Side last month is now facing first-degree reckless homicide charges.
19-year-old Regiana Hall is accused of killing Jaquavion Wright at their home near the Mitchell Park Domes. Prosecutors say the two had an argument about getting a job at Taco Bell. According to a criminal complaint, Hall admitted to the stabbing, but later said she didn't mean to do it, calling it self-defense. Hall is due back in court next week, October 14th. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
U.S. House Speaker says he's open to a measure providing pay for the military and essential workers who've been on the job during the government shutdown, but there is no indication yet it'd be acceptable to Democrats.
As air traffic control staffing begins to thin in pockets of the country, both sides say the other will soon feel the pressure to end the shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Checks to our troops will be held up October 15th if they don't come in here tomorrow and vote to reopen the government.
Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer says Republicans are already hearing from constituents about the need to extend expiring health care subsidies.
Well, the bottom line is they're feeling the heat.
Still, there's no indication of talks aimed at reaching an agreement. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Roughly 200 members of the Texas National Guard are deploying to Chicago this week and could begin assignments as soon as Wednesday. CBS News Chicago's Sabrina Franza has spotted troops dressed in camouflage with Texas National Guard patches walking around the U.S. Army Reserve Training Center in Elwood, about 50 miles southwest of the city.
Being here outside of this facility, you can see on the uniform of these troops that they are from Texas. There's a big T on their sleeve, and assuming the Illinois troops will have a slightly different uniform that they'll be wearing, it'll be interesting to see how they start to deploy closer to the city.
The state of Illinois and city of Chicago filed a lawsuit on Monday seeking to block the federalization and deployment of the National Guard.
Coming up, the mighty Quinn readies for Game 3.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:04.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeanssitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car is not one of them. The national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adam.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are one win away from advancing to the NLCS after slugging their way to a 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2 of the NLDS. Quinn Priester will get the start for Milwaukee in Game 3 Wednesday. Manager Pat Murphy on the young right-hander's development.
This guy went from, being a AAA pitcher for the last couple of years to emerging as a real presence and giving his team a chance very often. And just to see that happen right before your eyes, and it's pretty special.
The Brewers go for a series sweep Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field with a 4:08 first pitch on WTMJ. And again, the Brewers can advance to the NLCS for the first time since 2018.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Fall season is such a beautiful time of year in Wisconsin. This is Eric Brown from Siding Unlimited to let you know our home might say different. This time of year starts to wreak havoc on homes. There has been so much moisture in the form of morning dew or condensation, evening thunderstorms, or soon to be snow. Is your home up for the challenge? Siding Unlimited is Milwaukee's trusted roofing crew. A roof with Siding Unlimited has more asphalt compared to the competition, better underlayment, metal flashings, drip edges, and gutters, and the strongest warranty in the roofing industry. Siding Unlimited leaves you with a stronger roof, clean yard, and the best protection against Wisconsin's harsh weather. Call Siding Unlimited at 567-4513 today or visit sidingunlimited.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fello, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
Let's keep the winning train going. So many highlights from last night's NLDS Game 2, and WTMJ's Greg Matzik put together an amazing highlight reel. Here it is.
Fly ball, left field. Hap on the warning track. Hap at the wall. It's gone! Andrew Vaughn ties it in the bottom of the first inning with a 3-run homer.
William gets a huge hit. Yeller gets a huge hit. You know, I was just trying to keep the momentum going. You know, have a team at bat there. You know, I was able to get a pitch I could drive, and definitely a big moment there. And, you know, the momentum swing, that was huge.
First pitch to Kyle Tucker in there with a strike on a fastball at 103.4. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 104. Goodness. Those last two, a legit 104. Not 103.6 or 103. Those were 104 plus.
You know, he's here at the highest level for a reason. And he's been through some ups and downs. So I think he's pretty aware and pretty on high level.
Tapper right back to Mizorowski on the mound. Runs halfway to the bag, runs all the way to the bag, and then flexes at the crowd after he gets the final out. The Miz, with an exciting third, puts up a 0. We go to the bottom of the third.
I was so fired up and, you know, adrenaline pumping. You know, didn't really know where my feet were, but, you know, we landed. So it was fun. A lot of fun.
Man, was that a dandy from Mizorowski. You've got no shot with that pitch if you're Dansby Swanson.
You look up jelly leg in the dictionary, you just found that attempt from Dansby Swanson.
1-1 is a fly ball deep left field. This is way back. Bye-bye baseball. William Contreras admiring a solo blast to left. It puts the Brewers on top 4-3. Valencia's 0-2 pitch. And a fly ball to center. Hit well. PCA's back at the track. Wall! Gone! The lights are never too bright for the 21-year-old Jackson Churio.
Contreras and Churio's homers was the difference in the game.
Chopper to first. It's a fair ball. Ranging to his left is Vaughn. Fields throws to Koenig. Covering in time. Oh, what a play! Andrew Vaughn and Jared Koenig.
Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss and a slider, one away. 13 straight Cubs retired by the Brewers bullpen. 1-2 to Crow Armstrong. Here's Uribe. Swing and a miss and a slider. He struck him out. Contreras blocks and applies the tag. 2 gone. The Cubs are down to their final out in game 2. Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series. The Brewers bullpen retires the last 15 batters in a row.
People are wondering, you know, how does this team have the best record in baseball? How does this team, you know, nobody predicted they'd be over 500. And then you have all the injuries. Certainly nobody was banking on this. But how did that happen? It's the group of people in the room. It's the group of people in the room that know how to wash it off. They know how to bounce back. They know how to have a bad series and understand the importance of the next pitch. And that relentless kind of behavior is a separator. But don't think other teams and other guys don't do it too. We've just got a good collection of guys that, you know, are happy they're in the big leagues. I call them cliffhangers. You know, guys that don't know if their locker's going to be there. To the deal. And that's a fun thing. That hunger, you know, makes us look like we know what we're doing.
And the Cubs are on the brink as the series shifts to Chicago.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry. I love Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener, the salt delivered right to the basement. Their RO system, which filters the water in our house. What we drink, what we cook with, is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie and Fry water conditionings, the best in the business. They also provide well pump system service, routine service, and emergency service for when you need it. They've been doing that since 1974. At Guthrie and Fry, they know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lassiga.
All right, well, we've got definitely some delays out there, and they're pretty hefty. Southbound 41, heavy from the county line all the way to Good Hope Road, back on the brakes from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's backed out from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Hampton. More delays on the southbound side from Blue Mound Road down through the Zoo Interchange all the way to Lincoln. Also, eastbound 94, we've got backups as you're making your way from just before Highway 100 to the Zoo Interchange all the way to the 35th Street area. Westbound 94 is slowing down from 35th Street all the way to about Elm Grove Road. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Afternoon sunshine today, really nice. Mostly clear tonight, 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow mostly sunny and cooler, a high of 60. Thursday mostly sunny, a high of 62. Friday partly cloudy, a high of 65. Saturday mostly sunny, your high is 68 by the lake, 73 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, it's partly cloudy and 63 degrees.
From sidelines to the locker room.
This is unlike anything else that's ever happened in franchise history. Now, I know what I'm saying when I say that.
And everything in between.
How many times are you going to come to my press conference late? We got a rule in the team meeting. You don't interrupt the meeting. Sit your butt outside.
No one covers the team like Jason Wilde.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, but I don't do enough politics.
It's time to get caught up on the green and gold on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Always good to have our good friend ESPN's Jason Wilde on for our Green and Gold Insiders. What up, Jason? How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's not good, Telly. It's never good because, you know, I love you. I've been a fan of yours and a friend of yours since you were doing the Brewers games. Everyone knows how good you are at what you do. But every time I just feel so inadequate when you're filling in and I hear that voice of yours and then think, imagine if Wilde and Tausch got to hear such a great voice for 3 hours as opposed to my whiny, screechy voice that I have. I'm always so jealous when you fill in.
I know. His voice is so good.
Well, thank you, Jason, as always, but I don't know what to do. I've had this voice since I was about 11, 12 years old, man.
Really?
So, yeah. It wasn't always pretty, Julia. I mean, when I would call girls in high school that if their dad answered the phone, they thought I was 35, and I had to pretty much swear up and down that I was in the same chemistry class as their daughter. My gosh, so it hasn't always been the greatest thing, but Jason, it looks like the Cincinnati Bengals wanted to try and see if Joe Flacco could beat the Packers 2 times in 4 weeks because they just traded for him. And I believe you don't trade for a 40-year-old quarterback to make him a backup. I think he might end up starting Sunday's game. But what did you think of that when you heard the news that Joe Flacco could possibly face the Packers once again?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And by the way, thanks for sharing that story about calling girls dads, because now at least there's one drawback to sounding as good as you do. I'll say this. I saw this, and first of all, you're 1,000% right. They are trading for him to start on Sunday. That's why you make the trade today. So then you have him get in the building today, and then he's got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's practices to really get ready and get immersed in Zach Taylor's offense. And of course, the Bengals coach is the son-in-law of former Packers coach Mike Sherman, which is a funny little piece of trivia. But look, I did not think he was very impressive, obviously, in that Packers-Browns game a couple weeks ago. You know, the Packers really beat the Packers. It wasn't Joe Flacco who beat them. But they needed to do this. I was talking with Xavier McKinney yesterday, and the Packers are really frustrated that they have emphasized the importance on defense of taking the ball away. And through 4 games, they have 2 interceptions and no fumble recoveries. And they were looking at Jake Browning, the fill-in starter for the Bengals, saying, all right, now's our chance. This guy's thrown 8 picks in basically 3.5 games. Let's go get him. And that's why he's not going to be the starter on Sundays, because Zach Taylor said, look, we can't keep turning the ball over like this. And that's why they traded for Joe Flacco. And it barely cost them anything. They basically got a pick back for the pick they gave up. So they basically just moved back a few spots in the draft to make this work. And they are desperate to stay afloat until Joe Burrow gets back.
Gosh, it seems like training camp was so long ago when we would talk, and every day the emphasis was on turnovers and taking the ball away and punching it away. And that's an alarming stat to know that only 2 interceptions and no fumble recoveries through the first 4 games. And after the first 2 games, people were already booking their Super Bowl tickets to Santa Clara. And after a tie, that bye week looked like it came right on time. And Jason, you always have some offline conversation with a player or have a story of some sorts. Is there anything that came out of that tie that is worth mentioning, or just a reaction from a player that, after that tie and going into a bye week, I'm sure they didn't think that's where they'd be sitting 2-1-1 after the first 4 games?
No, they definitely didn't think that. And it's funny that you said what you did about booking Super Bowl tickets, because one of the things McKinney said the week of the tie, like even before that, after they'd lost to the Browns, was that we had too many guys in here who thought by starting 2-0, we just had punched our ticket to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was really irritated, and that's a captain and a leader saying that to a reporter. Like he didn't hold that back and just say it privately. He put it out there publicly on the record. So I do think they've, the younger guys on that team, the ones that have had less experience, I think they did get a little bit big for their britches. And maybe one of the things that they were able to do with this bye week was to hit the reset button. But, in the conversations I had yesterday with Rashawn Gary and Evan Williams, they're kind of looking at the bye as a double-edged sword. Yeah, it came at a decent time, and they got a few guys that are banged up. But now they got to play 13 straight games in 13 weeks. That is a long stretch when you're trying to build toward the playoffs. So they're going to have to figure out a way to, kind of modify practices late in the season, because you'd really love for that bye to come, week 9, 10, 11. There's a few years ago when it came in week 14 and they only had 4 games left in the schedule. And that was too late, but this feels way too early. And I'm very curious to see what it does for their schedule, and then what kind of injuries they're dealing with in November and December.
Wow. How's Christian Watson looking?
He looked great. He looks like Christian Watson. He said, I want to be 100% me. And again, the practice on Monday was a light practice. It's not real football. He's going to practice tomorrow. He's going to practice Thursday without assuming there's no setbacks. he is not giving up hope on playing on Sunday. That feels to me like rushing it a little bit. They opened up a 21-day window for him to practice, so he can basically practice the next 3 weeks and then play after that. I'm guessing it'll be sometime before the last day of the window, but I'm not convinced that he'll play this week. I think they'll probably hold him out at least another week or two and let him get more practice under his belt.
Wow, Jason, when you put it that way, 13 weeks, 13 straight games, and this bye is really gearing them up for that. And how do you think this bye week has treated the Packers in their preparation for the Cincinnati Bengals, who will come to Lambeau on Sunday, a team that has lost a few and really searching for something? And they're, of course, looking for a game to turn things around, which, in my opinion, makes them a dangerous team.
It does, and I'm sure that having I'm sure there were guys, they wouldn't say it, of course, but I'm sure there were guys like Jamar Chase and Higgins that were frustrated with the way the offense was operating. I mean, they're used to Joe Burrow, who's a former, number 1 overall pick and a former Super Bowl quarterback. So I think this will probably give them a burst of energy. But, the crazy thing, and we'll talk to Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator, on Thursday. I'm super curious. This has never happened before, I don't think, where a guy has been traded, a quarterback has been traded and then plays against the same team just a couple of weeks after he played against them with his previous team. So I'm really eager to talk to Jeff Hafley and ask him, okay, how much is there carryover? Is there anything that you learned during that Browns game that you're now you can apply to this game, even though he's in a different offense? It's just like you said at the very beginning, it's just a crazy thing that's happened today.
He is our green and gold insider, Jason Wilde. He hosts Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Milwaukee. Listen from 9 to noon. You can also catch incredible articles of Jason's on channel3000.com. Jason, thank you so much.
All right, great to catch up with you guys. Take care. Be good.
425 on WTMJ. Time for news about your money and your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything slightly in the red. The Dow was down 91, S&P 500 down 25, NASDAQ was down 153. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
The weather is brought to you by Sweet Talks Med Spa. Your goals are our goals.
Hey, John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. No generic solutions at Annex. As a fee-only fiduciary, Annex puts your interests first, skipping commissions for unbiased advice. Their rosters, CFPs, CFAs, CPAs, PhDs, wealth strategists, and attorneys deliver top-tier expertise to meet your unique goals. That's what that roster tells you. If you're part of the Wisconsin Retirement System Pension Program, join Annex for a specialized webinar, Understand Your WRS Pension, Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30. Join Steve Scafidi and members of the Annex Financial Planning team who have significant experience navigating WRS. More details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. With everything going on, making a personalized financial plan is more vital than ever. At Annex Wealth Management, expert guidance is just a call or visit away, customized to your life, not a one-size-fits-all template. Whether you're exploring investments, evaluating annuities, or planning for retirement, their team is with you every step. Visit annexwealth.com today and start building your future with Annex Wealth Management.
For your fellow fanatics and your #1 fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way too low,
yeah, besides that,
Hasselus Mattress is locally owned and managed by the same family. So, your money stays right here. And through Monday, you'll get a $248 credit towards a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I feel better than I ever have thanks to Connect Chiropractic. Got a little bit of a shoulder issue. The shoulder issue has gotten better. I carry my stress in my upper back. It's gone. It's Connect Chiropractic. I go every single week, and it's a long-term care focus at Connect, making you feel better so you can do the things that you want to do every single day. Play with the grandkids, play that pickleball, get out on the golf course. New location in Oak Creek, joining the existing locations in Tosa and Delafield. Go where I go. Connect Chiropractic.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Does our Inspired Closets team make dreams come true?
Every day, Dan. From consultation to design to installation, the whole process is built around our clients.
Which is how we earn our 5-star reviews. It's our team that makes the difference.
Inspired Closets is more than just organization. It's an investment in you.
Get started today at inspiredclosets.com.
Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. My dad has really blossomed since moving to Capri and has gained new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place takes my worries away, and now we're both enjoying life again.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Julia Fello. Your top story: a Wisconsin Democrat chooses not to run for governor.
I'm Telly Hughes in for John McCure. Tensions rising over a downtown Milwaukee development plan.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have a crash on the ramp from Fond du Lac Avenue to southbound 43. Watch out for that. Delays coming in from before Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette to about the KK River crossing. The northbound side backing up over the high-rise bridge all the way up to Locust. Westbound 94 still heavy from just about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from Hawley Road to through the Zoo interchange into Waukesha County past Elm Grove Road. On the eastbound side, we got your backups basically from 84th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, your low will be 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, sunny and cooler, a high of 60 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, it's sunny and 65 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin. Attorney General Josh Kaul will run for re-election.
Kaul will seek a third term, ending speculation that he was planning to run for governor. He was first elected as the state's top law enforcement official in 2018 and won re-election in 2022. While in office, Kaul successfully pushed the state Supreme Court to strike down the state's abortion ban this year that was put back into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The general election will be held in November of next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A teenager from Racine is charged with sexually assaulting a county courthouse employee. The 17-year-old is accused of grabbing a woman from behind outside the courthouse October 2nd. During the investigation, police learned of 2 other women who experienced similar incidences near the courthouse. The teen made an initial court appearance Tuesday and faces charges of 4th-degree sexual assault and disorderly conduct.
Lots of discussion during the public hearing about a state Senate bill that would bring red light cameras to parts of Milwaukee. Those in favor say the cameras would help curb reckless driving.
The proposed bill would bring 75 red light cameras to the city. Several residents speaking in favor of the legislation.
Far too many people have been hit and injured and too often killed.
Passing this bill will slow everybody down.
Some not so sure about the bill, including State Senator Van Wanggaard.
I'd rather have an officer there than take a snapshot and mail the owner the ticket.
The proposed legislation still needs to be approved by the committee before it can head to the full Senate. At the Summerfest grounds, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Red light cameras are currently prohibited under state law.
Skepticism is growing at Milwaukee City Hall over plans to redevelop a downtown parking garage into a mass timber high-rise.
That skepticism is led by Alderman Bob Bauman, who told the Zoning, Neighborhoods and Development Committee Tuesday developer Neutral can't deliver on plans to build a 55-story skyscraper on the current site of the Marcus Center parking garage. Bauman's concerns follow a pause on a separate Neutral development, the 31-story Edison, which is currently being reevaluated for cost-saving purposes. Bauman wants to restart the request for proposals process on the Marcus site. A decision by the committee could come within 30 days. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The potential future of widening I-94 in Waukesha moves forward. The Milwaukee Business Journal reports that last month, the Department of Transportation sent a letter to Waukesha County officials indicating the proposal for a highway expansion was top priority among state projects. The DOT staff recommended that the proposal should proceed to an environmental study phase. That's news that it will move forward. The Transportation Project Commission will then vote later this year on approving the study.
Major construction is coming to Whitefish Bay that seeks to rebuild a popular grocery store. The Village Board approved for a $10 million construction project Monday to rebuild Syndic's Food Market located on Silver Spring Drive. The project will add a larger footprint to the store while also providing improvements to village infrastructure for sidewalks and roads. As part of the agreement, village officials expect Syndic's to complete their improvement project by the end of 2026.
For WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all sports desk. Brew Crew, 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS after powering their way through 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2. Quinn Priester gets a starting nod for Game 3 tomorrow. He has not pitched since September 26th against the Reds. Says he's itching to get back out on the mound.
When I get a lot of time, I can want to tinker with stuff. I can feel certain things, but the whole thing is it's October and, we're not going to pull a magic pitch, out of thin air here. We just need to be really good and consistent with what we've been doing all year, knowing that that's going to create a good result.
Hear the game right here on WTMJ tomorrow with a first pitch at 4:08. And the Cincinnati Bengals make a quarterback trade ahead of their Week 6 matchup against the Packers. Joe Flacco heads to Cincinnati from Cleveland. Flacco and the Browns beat the Packers in Week 3. Cincinnati expected to name their starting quarterback tomorrow.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:36.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism. It's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental, or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
On the second anniversary of the October 7th attacks, peace talks bring cautious hope. We have Linda Gradstein with CBS News joining us on the talk and text line from Jerusalem. Linda, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So first, what is it like today on the anniversary of the Hamas attack, which killed 1,200 people and more than 250 others were taken hostage?
It's a very somber day. There were some ceremonies, for example, at the Nova site, the site of the dance festival, where more than 370 people were killed, mostly young people who had just come to this dance festival to enjoy themselves, and hundreds of relatives gathered. And at 6:29 a.m., which is the exact time that Hamas gunmen attacked the site, they held a ceremony. There was another gathering outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's house in Jerusalem by hostage families. There are still 48 hostages being held in Gaza, 20 of whom are believed to still be alive, and the families of the hostages called on Netanyahu to reach a deal to get hostages home. And so it's a very somber day. It's also a Jewish holiday. So that kind of had a little bit of a strange effect. It's the first day of a week-long holiday called Sukkot, when Jews build these little huts and go out and live in these little huts to mark sort of the fragility of life.
48 hostages remain in Gaza, 20 still believed to be alive. What conditions could they be in?
There have been signs of life from some of them. There were some horrible videos released a month or so ago of one of them who's skeletal, who really looked like, barely hanging on, and who was being forced to dig his own grave. There have been videos released of a couple of others who seem to be in relatively better condition. And with the peace talks starting, hospitals in Israel are now preparing to receive, hopefully, these 20 alive people, and will have to go through quite a long period of rehabilitation. That said, other hostages who were released several months ago have made at least a physical rehabilitation. And in fact, anyone who was released has become very active in campaign for the freedom for the rest of the hostages.
And the peace talks between Israel and Hamas, it resumed at an Egyptian resort today after several hours of talks yesterday. Do you know where we're at with that so far today?
First of all, the main negotiators, so Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner on the American side, Ron Dermer on the Israeli side, are expected to arrive tomorrow. The Prime Minister's office has said that there's sort of room for very cautious optimism that Hamas could still derail the talks, but the first stage would see the freedom for all 48 hostages, both living and dead, as well as an Israeli withdrawal to lines in Gaza that they held several months ago. Now, the latest report is that Hamas is now saying that they want to see a full Israeli withdrawal before they will release all of the hostages. So if those reports are correct, it could mean that they're facing obstacles, and then the question will just be whether President Trump will be able to sort of push both sides over the finish line. I think there's a sense that both Israel and Hamas feel that it's time to end the war. So, I think there's a sense that both sides are looking for a way to climb down from the tree, and the President Trump's plan may just be that.
We have CBS News correspondent Linda Gradstein in Jerusalem on the talk and text line. Linda, who are the Palestinian prisoners that may be released in exchange for the Israeli hostages?
So according to the deal with President Trump, there are 250 Hamas members serving life sentences in Israel, presumably for murder, who will be freed, as well as another 1,700 who were captured since October 7th. And as part of the deal, Israel would free those.
How much longer could this go?
There are 20 points that are included in the plan. I think there is a sense that if all of the Israeli hostages are freed, which is something that Israel has been demanding for a long time, and the Palestinian prisoners are released, a lot of aid would flood into Gaza, and then they would sort of begin the process for a transitional government. Hamas is not going to be part of that government. Hamas would have to disarm, and the Hamas leaders would either be exiled or they could stay in Gaza if they want to. Apparently, Israel has promised President Trump that it won't assassinate them. So, I think if things start moving, it could move relatively quickly, but, there's no way to put a timetable on it. These talks have been held before, and then at the last minute, they've always fallen apart over a demand from one side or the other. I think this time is different, partly because of the involvement of President Trump and partly because marking 2 years, the longest war that Israel has ever had. The devastation in Gaza is unbelievable. 67,000 Palestinians killed and more than 130,000 5,000 wounded, and that's probably a conservative estimate. So the toll on Gaza has just been also incredibly difficult.
She is CBS News' Linda Gradstein with us from Jerusalem. Linda, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. Many people gain the weight back after stopping, but there's a better way. Using the Milwaukee Weight Loss proprietary natural-based program, we've helped thousands of people not just lose weight, but keep it off long-term. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks while protecting your muscle mass. No side effects, no rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? You can do this. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavidi here. After a summer in the maintenance phase, feeling great, looking great, I'm back in reduction mode with the goal to lose 10 more pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. That means I'll have lost 50 pounds since January. The best part, none of the intense workouts, none of the meals, kits, or shakes, no meds, no injections. Many patients see 20 to 30 pounds plus come off in just a month or two. You can do it. I did it. Book your free consultation today at 262-393-2334 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix-It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads?
Well, a bit slow southbound on 41 from just before the county line down past Good Hope Road, back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. More delays then from just south of Watertown Plank Road all the way down through the zoo interchange into the Hale. So it's a slow ride on the bypass, that's for sure. The northbound side is backing up from just before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. You're back on the brakes north of Capitol Drive all the way up to Appleton Avenue. And then southbound 43 backing up from Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. You're back on the brakes from just south of Keefe all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Part of the problem is a crash on the ramp from Fond du Lac Avenue to southbound 43. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, a little bit cooler. It's going to be 47 by the lake, 39 inland as your low. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 60. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 62. Partly cloudy Friday, a high of 65. Then Saturday, it'll be mostly sunny, 68 your high by the lake, 73 inland. Right now, Milwaukee, it's sunny and 65 degrees. Time for your weekly medical briefing with Dr. John Raymond, President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Raymond, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julia.
So today we're going to be talking to our listeners who have heard about type 1 and type 2 diabetes probably, but according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 34 million Americans have diabetes, but the actual number might be much higher. Dr. Raymond, can you please explain the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Julia. Really, really important. So type 1 and type 2 diabetes are the only officially accepted types of diabetes mellitus, but that actually might be changing. So let me start by describing type 1 diabetes. That's caused by a deficiency of insulin, and it usually starts in childhood. And so with these very low insulin levels, it almost always requires insulin replacement. And type 1 diabetes is thought to be caused by an autoimmune process that damages the specialized beta cells in the pancreas, which are the ones that produce insulin. Type 2 diabetes is actually caused by tissue resistance to insulin. So the pancreas makes normal and sometimes even high levels of insulin, but the tissues can't respond to them. So the pancreas is fine, it can manufacture insulin, but the body's not able to use that insulin effectively, even when the insulin levels are high. And this usually occurs in middle age, and it's associated with obesity, a sedentary lifestyle, family history, high blood pressure, and abnormal cholesterol levels. And also gestational diabetes, or diabetes that occurs transiently during pregnancy, can be a risk factor for later developing type 2 diabetes.
Okay, then, Dr. Raymond, we've recently read that the International Diabetes Federation suggested that there should be a new classification called type 5 diabetes. Is that true? Please explain.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is true that the International Diabetes Federation, which is one of the largest international diabetes-focused organizations, encourage doctors and other diabetes organizations to adopt a new category of diabetes, which they call type 5 diabetes, and that was in April of this year. So I want to make sure everybody knows it's important to know this is simply a suggestion, and that other organizations like the World Health Organization would need to agree by consensus with this new category. So what is type 5 diabetes? Their proposal is that type 5 diabetes should be used to refer specifically to malnutrition-related diabetes, which is believed to be a distinct form of severe insulin deficiency diabetes that arises from chronic undernutrition in childhood or adolescence. So there are subtle but important differences that might distinguish type 5 diabetes from type 1 diabetes. Both of them have low insulin levels, but rather than being caused by autoimmune disease like type 1, type 5 is really specifically related to malnutrition. It is interesting, though, this may or may not be relevant in the U.S. because this type of diabetes is much more prevalent in low-resource countries in Africa and Asia than it is in the U.S., and it is estimated to impact about 25 million people worldwide. And it's also sort of come to light recently because there are concerns that this might be one of the long-term effects of the Gaza conflict, in which there are many reports of children starving. So it's really interesting. The history of this type of diabetes was initially described in 1955 in Jamaica by a British physician named Philip Hughes Jones, who noticed the onset of diabetes in malnourished young patients.
Wow.
What was really peculiar to him is that these patients never developed a dangerous complication of type 1 diabetes, which is called ketoacidosis, and they needed a lot less insulin than we would expect for type 1 diabetes. Then in 1985, the World Health Organization actually officially recognized this type of diabetes, but then they reversed course in 1999, saying that at the time there just wasn't sufficient evidence to pin the cause on protein deficiency or malnutrition.
Wow. Wow. I didn't even think about, the Gaza conflict coming forward and type 5 diabetes being connected. So there's a proposal to add a malnutrition-associated diabetes as type 5 diabetes, in addition to the more commonly accepted type 1 and type 2. So, Dr. Raymond, what happened to type 3 and type 4 diabetes? Why were they skipped?
Yeah, it's a great question, and they weren't skipped. There actually are several proposed unofficial categories of type 3 and type 4 diabetes. These are primarily used to describe research populations rather than as a medical diagnostic tool. So one of them for type 3 is gestational diabetes, or diabetes associated with pregnancy. There's another form that's caused by damage to the pancreas, say from cancer or trauma, rather than autoimmunity or starvation. And then then another type 3 is associated specifically with insulin resistance that occurs in the brain, and this has been proposed to be associated with Alzheimer's disease. Again, these are just research categories, not official medical diagnostic categories. And then there is a designation called type 4 diabetes. Again, not officially recognized, but it's a term used by some researchers to describe age-related insulin resistance that happens primarily in elderly, thin, non-obese patients.
Dr. Raymond, it's really interesting because I just lost my mother-in-law to Alzheimer's yesterday night. And
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So, it's interesting to me, the association of diabetes and Alzheimer's. Is that still being studied?
It is being studied, and there does appear to be a specific link, but we don't know all the details yet. But it makes sense. If the brain is not able to metabolize glucose properly, then you can have inflammation, and that could exacerbate the march forward of Alzheimer's disease.
So, Dr. Raymond, what is the bottom line about these various forms of diabetes?
Yeah, thank you so much. The bottom line is the categories of type 1 and type 2 diabetes are still relevant for most patients that have diabetes. Type 1 is an insulin-deficient diabetes that starts generally in childhood or adolescence and requires lifelong insulin treatment or an insulin pump. Type 2 is associated with aging, mostly middle-aged, and lifestyle, like sedentary lifestyle, obesity, family history, high blood pressure. These categories are very useful for guiding physicians and other providers in prescribing the right types of medicine and lifestyle changes.
Okay, Dr. Raymond, do you have good news?
I do. First of all, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I know we've talked about breast cancer on the show before, so I would encourage all women to get screening on the advice of their physicians and other healthcare providers. But there are also some interesting observances for today. Today is National Forgiveness and Happiness Day, so forgive and be happy. It's also You Matter to Me Day. And then finally, for people that love food, today is National Taco Day. So have a taco to celebrate.
Oh, very nice. What kind of taco do you like, Dr. Raymond?
I like ground turkey tacos.
You do? Okay, that's the most popular. I like carne asada. All right.
Very nice.
And I appreciate you. How about that?
And I appreciate you too, Julia. Thank you so much.
He's the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Talk to you next week, doctor. Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Thanks.
All right. Coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, this is incredible. At 5:08, the Gift of Adoption Organization. It's a fundraiser coming up, and we talked to a woman who benefited from the organization, made her dreams come true of becoming a mother. Also, 5:15, CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent Major Garrett joins us live, and TMJ4 News Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky joins us live as well. That is all coming up on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Up next, your top stories, traffic, and weather coming up.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A local makery is proposing adding a wine bar to its space on Ludington Avenue in Wauwatosa. The wine bar would include indoor service in the 610-square-foot workshop and outdoor seating in the 670-square-foot front yard. Carmen Schools of Science and Technology is halfway to its fundraising goal for its new $55 million high school project. The school has raised $7 million of its $15 million capital campaign for the 120,000-square-foot school on Milwaukee's south side. Wingstop leases vacant space at a strip center in West Bend. Wingstop has expanded in recent years in Metro Milwaukee and now has 16 locations in the area. I'm Logan Hansen from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by the beautiful Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Wells Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car is not one of them. The national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adam.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fello here for Appliance Gallery. Are you ready to turn your kitchen into a true showpiece before your next big family event? Step into Appliance Gallery in Milwaukee, right on Wisconsin Avenue. Elevated design meets unmatched luxury and dependability. Your kitchen deserves more than just appliances. You deserve artful craftsmanship built to impress. Head to ApplianceGalleryWI.com or stop by their beautiful, most up-to-date showroom in our state right on Wisconsin Avenue. Appliance Gallery. It's family-owned, a destination that offers so much, featuring luxury brands like Wolf, which is renowned for precision cooking, and bold designs, luxury refrigeration, and legendary reliability with Sub-Zero. Cove, known for their iconic red knobs, and endless customization, built to last. What sets Appliance Gallery apart? Their experienced, professional, in-house installers ensure your appliances are placed perfectly, panel-ready or freestanding. Fast delivery, seamless installation, personal service. Visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com or stop by their Wisconsin Avenue showroom today. ApplianceGalleryWI.com.
It's Oktoberfest at Fleet Farm with big fun in store for the whole family. Don't miss our Toyland opening at 7 a.m. Saturday, October 11th, where the first 125 customers will get our free annual Toyland toy. Along with toys, kids can get their hands on some real big rigs at our Touch a Truck event from noon till 3. And be sure to enter our pretzel count contest for a chance to win a Fleet Farm gift card. Stop in and celebrate Oktoberfest with us all month long. It's our way of thanking you for shopping Fleet Farm.
You work hard, you probably play hard, and you deserve to feel like your best you. That's where Mend Massage comes in. I'm a customer of Mend Massage, and they just absolutely get it. You can find them at mendstudio.com. Multiple locations, 11 types of massage therapy. They go above and beyond, taking care of employees. They customize everything. It's Mend Massage. When I'm there, I'm comfortable, and I know it's long-term wellness. That's their goal. Each session is 60 minutes. They book you for 60, you get 60. I trust them. mendstudio.com.
Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Shop smarter with Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan, just a few seconds across the Wisconsin border. Award-winning, organically grown, quality products you can trust. Don't settle for knockoffs in Wisconsin. Get the real deal at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fello. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Tuesday, October 7th. Your top story this half hour. An air traffic control tower going dark.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for John McCure, the shutdown's impact on healthcare.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got delays along southbound 43, stretching from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring. You are back on the brakes from just before Locust all the way down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 backing up from about 27th Street to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes from 76th all the way past Moreland Road. More delays then from about Springdale Road all the way to Highway 164. On the flip side, we got delays from 164 to about Springdale Road, and then from just before Highway 100, solid all the way through the zoo interchange to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, your low will be 47 by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a bit cooler, a high of 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as the government shutdown continues, another air traffic control tower is going dark tonight.
Nashville Airport's air traffic control tower is expected to go dark for 5 hours, lasting until midnight. It's due to a lack of air traffic controllers available on this, the 7th day of a government shutdown. The tower in Memphis is expected to help with arrivals and departures at Nashville, some 200 miles away. The problems are similar to what happened Monday at Hollywood Burbank International in California, where its tower was forced to shut down. The FAA is warning of ground delays at a host of other major airports nationwide due to sickouts and an understaffing issue. Matt Piper, CBS News.
The government shutdown could cause people on the Affordable Care Act to see a severe increase in prices. Chief of Policy and Advocacy at Groundwork Collaborative, Alex Jaquez, tells WTMJ's Point Taken.
The independent scoring office in Congress has said and put out an analysis that if no deal is made by November 1st, there is a 0% chance that even extending the enhanced premium tax credits will impact 2026 premiums. If they want to make it cheaper for 2026 plans, they basically have to act now.
The Congressional Budget Office expects around 2 million more Americans to become uninsured next year.
The family of a student still hospitalized from a school shooting that took place last December in Madison is providing new details about his recovery.
It's been 10 months since the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, and Sammy Garduna Martinez's recovery has been slow. In a GoFundMe post, Sammy's mother says he was shot 2 or 3 times in the head, back, and arm. They call it a miracle he survived, and he's gone through extensive physical therapy as well as spine surgery. He's required a feeding tube and had a procedure on his vocal cords to help him speak. The Wisconsin State Journal says Sammy was to be discharged last spring but had a setback and remains in the hospital. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Sammy's family is hoping to move him to a specialized rehab hospital in Chicago. The family's GoFundMe account has raised nearly $100,000 this week alone.
Coming up, just one win away from the NLCS.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
The Wisconsin retirement system impacts over 690,000 people, including police, firefighters, teachers, and UW employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a free webinar. Understand your WRS potential on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Learn how your WRS pension fits into your financial portfolio and planning. The Annex Financial Planning team is experienced with WRS pensions and holistic financial planning. Register at annexwealth.com/events. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Time to get your furnace ready to work this winter. Vince Vitrano here with my HVAC guy, Ryan Sopa at Urban Heating and Cooling. Ryan, you're doing furnace tune-ups now.
Correct. We're starting to do furnace maintenance, making sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming cold weather.
You do all that for less than $100. You can save big, though, if you spend that money up front, right? Make sure this thing is good.
Correct. I mean, if we come in there and do a maintenance on your furnace, so it can help prevent major breakdowns for the next season.
Thanks, Ryan. Contact them now at urbanheatingandcooling.com. urbanheatingandcooling.com.
For over 40 years, the Boucher Automotive Group is proud to have served Wisconsin with dedication and heart, one customer at a time. But we knew we could do even more.
In the last 5 years, we've expanded across the state, adding new locations, new brands, and new ways to better serve you.
At Boucher, growth isn't always about being bigger. It's about being better. Better selection, better service, better experiences.
Where you're going matters, and Boucher is driven to get you there. The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are one win away from advancing to the NLCS after slugging their way to a 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2 of the NLDS. Quinn Priester.
This guy went from, being a AAA pitcher for the last couple of years to emerging as a real presence and giving his team a chance very often. And just to see that happen right before your eyes, and it's pretty special.
That's Brewers manager Pat Murphy on the young right-handers development, Quinn Priester. Brewers go for a series sweep Wednesday afternoon tomorrow at Wrigley with a 4:08 pitch right here on WTMJ, your home of the Brewers. And the Milwaukee Bucks open the preseason with a win over the Heat, 103-93. Milwaukee's preseason continues at home Thursday against Detroit.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5:07.
Get new Pella windows for the entire house as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Ready for the snap and a timeout taken. The team looks a little bit lost. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, the winning play is simple. A whole house of new windows as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no interest. A championship move from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No doubt, Wayne. And unlike the opponent's defense, Pella Windows actually stopped the drafts.
The draft picks we gave up for number one had to be the steal of the century.
True, but I'm talking about replacing old drafty windows.
Roger that. With energy-efficient windows that keep the cold out, you'll stay as toasty as a fan at a warm weather preseason game.
Pay as low as $297 a month for a whole house of new Pella windows.
Plus, with 0% interest for up to 60 months, don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today.
Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 10/31/2025.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fello. And in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
Oh, this is really special on Wisconsin's afternoon news, Telly. We are shining a light on the life-changing power of adoption and the incredible work being done right here in Wisconsin to help children find permanent, loving families. Joining us are two wonderful guests with powerful perspectives on this important mission. Scott Ripke is a board member of Gift of Adoption Fund, Wisconsin chapter. It's a nonprofit that helps bridge the financial gaps for families ready to adopt. And also we have Holly Thull, and she's one of the parents. She and her family welcomed a child into their home with the support of Gift of Adoption. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So Holly, just grab that microphone towards your face. Tell me about the child that you just adopted. How old?
So my son Cosmo is now 5 months old, so he has brought a lot of joy into all of our lives, and he's just pleasure to be around. He's having fun playing and giving kisses and trying new foods lately.
How long have you wanted to be a mom?
My whole life, but my entire journey toward motherhood is about 16 years. It was a hard journey.
And it's not cheap for people who want to know. How much do you think it costed you to adopt?
So I stopped counting because it was just too much for me to think about. I stopped counting at $88,000.
And Scott, you were talking about how a lot of families, that's not including some families that may have gone through IVF.
Right. The costs are significant, and in some instances prohibitive. Right. So people get to the end, or they start to add up what it's going to cost them. They go, "Geez, we just can't. We can't undertake this. It's on credit cards, it's on lines of credit, it's borrowing money for families, it's all of the things that you do when you want to get this done." So Gift of Adoption is a very straightforward organization, right? We raise money for adoptions, and then we provide grants to folks like Holly. And it's very clean, and it's very simple, and it's very direct. And we're an organization made up of chapters that are basically in the states. We have a national organization and a national board, so all of that cost for the employees of the organization is absorbed through that board. So when you give a gift to the Gift of Adoption Wisconsin, 100% of that money goes directly to adoptions. And we have all of the highest grades on all of the different charity navigator and things like that. So then that was important to my wife and I as we became more and more involved in this. We wanted to make sure that the money was going where we wanted it to go. It was going for this really special cause, to be able to make a donation, give a grant, see a child and a family put together, and then also realize what you've changed in that child's life as far as becoming a loving and contributing member of society as they go into adulthood. It's been a wonderful journey for us.
Now, Scott, you just touched on the financial aspect, but Holly, can you talk about the process of adopting, all the things that you have to have in order and to guarantee that this child is going to have a home where they can flourish in?
Yeah, so one of the first things you need to decide is what kind of adoption you wish to pursue. So I chose domestic infant adoption. And for that, I had to contract with a home study agency in Wisconsin. And they did all of the groundwork for background checks, fingerprints, visited my home. So it's a process.
How much was the grant money that you got from Gift of Adoption Fund?
I received $7,500 from Gift of Adoption Fund.
And the difference it made in your life to get that?
I mean, huge. It was a huge worry for me, a huge burden to think about the finances. So it helped me bring him home.
I'm so happy for you. What's your baby's name again?
Cosmo.
Cosmo,
Tell 'em
5
what
months
Cosmo
old.
means.
It means beauty in the chaos.
Oh, I love that.
That's great.
What a wonderful journey
Yes.
you've had. And now you have your baby boy.
It all led to him. It was worth it.
It did. Okay,
That's
that's good
nice.
to know for everyone. Gift of Adoption Fund, Scott Ripke. What's the website for people to donate?
Giftofadoption.org. And go there and get a more immersive dive into what we are and what we do and how we handle it. And then click on the Wisconsin chapter, and you'll see all of the things that are happening here in Wisconsin. We're the oldest chapter. Gift of Adoption started here in Whitefish Bay, and we have a great board, and we're really proud of the things we accomplish.
Scott Ripke is Gift of Adoption board member with the Wisconsin chapter, and Holly Thule, she just adopted baby boy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
514 on WTMJ.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris go inside Bucks training camp. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads?
We still have that accident on 43 southbound on the on-ramp from Fond du Lac Avenue, so something to be careful with. Otherwise, delays coming in from Good Hope Road all the way past Silver Spring, and then again from Locust down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. The northbound side is a bit backed up from just about Beecher all the way through the Marquette up towards Locust. Westbound 94, a heavy ride from about 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from 84th Street to the county line. More delays heading through the Barker Road area all the way to Highway 164. On the eastbound side, we got delays from about just before Highway 100 through the zoo all the way to 35th Street. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Night, mostly clear, a low of 30. Wednesday, tomorrow mostly sunny and cooler, a high of 60. Thursday and Friday, It'll be partly cloudy, a high of 60. Saturday, mostly sunny. 68 your high by the lake, 73 inland. Right now, Milwaukee, it's sunny and 64 degrees. 517 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's afternoon news podcast is sponsored by Dave Draycamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDraycamp.com. He is CBS News chief Washington correspondent, creating fascinating podcasts like Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hansen. That podcast is so crazy. The true story of a self-proclaimed patriot, but really a traitor. And he's the author of Mr. Trump's Wild Ride. Really takes you behind the scenes during huge events during Trump's first term. Also has the book, The Big Truth, that he wrote. He anchors a takeout on CBS News, my favorite show. CBS News online platform. Major Garrett, thanks for joining us.
Always great to be with you. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Yes. So Governor Greg Abbott was trying to remain mum about what was going on with his National Guard. And now all of our reporters here in Milwaukee are down in Chicago in this suburb that are covering, them there. So do you know what's happening? And do you believe that Governor Greg Abbott didn't really know a lot about what was going on?
Oh, no, he knew. He knew. And the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, made it clear today in her testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee that she knew that members of the Texas National Guard were being deployed to Chicago or the surrounding suburbs. So pretending not to know in public is not the same as not actually knowing. And there's only one way in which the Texas National Guard get there, and that's with the authorization of the sitting governor. And this is a very, I think, fraught moment for the country because the deployment of the National Guard from another state, so it's not the Illinois National Guard. So there's one sort of thing that's different. In California, the Trump administration federalized the California National Guard. And there was a dispute that went through the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration won some small parts of it, but lost more than it wanted to in terms of the legality of that deployment. Over the weekend, there was a dispute in Oregon, and a federal judge said, no, you can't deploy the Oregon National Guard. So the administration tried to deploy California's National Guard, and the judge said, no, you can't do that either. This idea of taking National Guard forces from another state and deploying them in a separate state is really terrain we have never seen before in this country. And the administration is trying to invoke words that have a very specific historical and legal meaning, rebellion, insurrection, and laying them over facts that simply don't represent the historical understanding of rebellion or insurrection as a way to justify these deployments. And federal judges are stepping in, and I want to point out, in Oregon, the federal judge who stepped in was appointed by President Trump. Okay? A Trump-appointed federal circuit judge. So not some quote-unquote radical leftist, whatever the phraseology President Trump might use, someone that he appointed and the Senate confirmed on the president's behalf in his first term, Judge Immergant in Oregon. So these, my point there is even conservative jurists nominated by President Trump and confirmed by a Republican Senate have said there are problems here. There are lines being crossed that ought not to be crossed. And if it's to protect federal facilities, then there has to be genuine potential harm to those federal facilities. In Oregon, the judge looking at the facts of the case said there isn't any, and the president's making up facts to justify this. So for those who fear that language is being manipulated and representations are being made that don't exist in order to justify moving National Guard forces from one state to another, and they think that creates a kind of overlarge federal role in civilian law enforcement, that's a key question. It's playing out in Chicago. It's playing out in Portland. And right now, this administration just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. Where it's all going to end, I don't know. But there are legal limits and historical definitional limits that this administration is trying to move beyond.
Major, it seemed to me that it was very odd that Portland was able to stop troops from coming there, but Chicago wasn't. And it seemed like President Trump was able to skirt around that by sending them to Elmwood, which is a suburb. Is that the case?
Right.
And
well,
I mean, because Chicago Mayor Brandon Williams, he said, is it Brandon Johnson? I'm sorry. The mayor of Chicago, yes, Brandon Johnson said that he didn't want him there. J.B. Pritzker said, the governor said he didn't want them there. So he was just able to send them to Elmwood. Is that how he skirted around doing this?
Well, there's still a legal challenge, and it hasn't been adjudicated yet. So that hasn't been resolved as rapidly as it was in Portland. The federal circuit judge in the jurisdiction in Oregon looked at the case and decided it pretty rapidly, looked at the facts of the matter, had a hearing. They're going through the legal process in Chicago. Now, the federal facility being in suburban part of Chicago makes it slightly more easy, but it doesn't resolve the nagging legal questions behind the deployment. And what's also worth pointing out here is in Washington, D.C., and trust me, all of us who live in the District of Columbia have a lot of lived experience with this, and we're seeing this also in Memphis. The deployment of extra federal forces, meaning federal law enforcement, which is separate from National Guard, but both were deployed in Memphis and in Washington, D.C. When you start sifting the statistics about the arrests and what the arrests were for and about, more than half in the District of Columbia were about immigration matters. 40% in Memphis were about immigration matters.
Oh, wow.
So these things are really, in essence, they're part about local crime, but they are at least half and more than half in the District of Columbia with immigration.
Wow.
So that sort of puts in a different context what this is actually about and what the administration is trying to achieve under some larger public safety description or defense of its actions. What it's really doing is increasing the presence of federal law enforcement or the National Guard to achieve complementary immigration goals, not exactly public safety crime fighting goals. That's something we should all take into account.
This is what makes politics so interesting, finding the most clever ways to get a bill through or, laws and looking through things. He's so great. He's CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent Major Garrett, who always breaks it down for us. Check him out, The Takeout on the CBS News online platform. His latest episode is just coming out, right?
Yeah, just coming out. We just did the show. Yep.
Wow. What'd you cover?
Well, we covered the shutdown. We covered the what's happening in air traffic control towers. It's not a sick out. It's not an organized labor. A shortage, meaning the unions are asking their members to not show up for work. But because the system is stressed and they're not getting paid, one or two air traffic controllers here and there not showing up for work, that puts a stress on the system, which means some air traffic control towers either have to shift the flight load, which leads to delays. We haven't had any cancellations yet, but lots of different air traffic control towers have been stressed by this. We let off the show with that. Long conversation with Kevin Kramer, North Dakota Republican, about how the shutdown's going to end. He had some interesting observations about that. Plus, we marked the 2-year since, I'm not going to call it an anniversary because it's certainly not that, 2 years since the Hamas attacks in Israel. We had the brother of 2 hostages who remain in captivity in Hamas to talk about what their family is going through. So we covered a lot on the show tonight.
Wow. Check it out on the CBS News online platform. Major Garrett, he anchors The Takeout. Major, thank you so much.
We'll talk next week.
It's 5:26 on WTMJ.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, talking about employee benefits today and R&R Insurance, of course, a great benefits program for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. So when it comes to benefits, what are some of the real challenges employers are facing today?
Vince, the buying environment has not been easy for many employers, really driven by cost increases and the rapid innovation in today's specialty prescription drugs and medical treatments. The explosion of GLP-1 drugs and their usage is impacting planned financials. Specialized gene therapies are revolutionizing medicine, but also sending shockwaves through health plan economics and risk management frameworks.
So, Jeff, of course, managing an employee health plan, doing that well takes time, it takes expertise. So how is R&R supporting its clients and keeping them informed on all of these issues you just mentioned?
Sure. We have an elite team of analytics resources that blend their years of experience with technology and innovation when designing plans for our clients. We use strategy and our expert resources to help you control costs and maximize the value of your employee benefits plan. Plus, we provide local management and service and support all over the state.
So what else can R&R Insurance provide that sets you apart?
We help employers brand their benefit package in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. Most importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for your open enrollment and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy and immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
Thanks for the great info, Jeff. Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list. And I've got yours, Vince Vetrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vetrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer-dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing. Great work and outstanding customer service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
There's no better place to catch the natural wonders of fall than Lake Geneva. Stroll a lakeshore path in a kaleidoscope of color. Explore winding rustic roads. Take a scenic boat tour or glide through a forest on a zip line. At night, stargaze from a historic observatory, cozy up to a campfire, or have a cocktail on the patio. Enjoy the seasonal bounty at orchards, wineries, and farms with flavors to savor. Plan your fall getaway now at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for fall fun.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Every Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza absolutely free at the Mineshaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Google the Mineshaft today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fello. Your top story this half hour. A Milwaukee DoorDash customer heads to trial.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for John McCure, a teen charged with sexual assault in Racine.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 41, backing up from the county line to Good Hope Road, and then back on the brakes just south of Appleton Avenue. And those delays will take you straight down towards Capitol Drive. On the northbound side, very heavy from about Mayfair Road all the way up to about Silver Spring. We've also got delays on the southbound side from just before Blue Mound Road all the way down through the Zoo Interchange, and it's going to stay solid all the way down to the Hale. This is also affecting your ride eastbound 94 coming in from just before Highway 100 into the Zoo Interchange. Those delays then continue all the way to about 35th Street. Westbound 94 backing up from 25th Street to about Hawley Road, and then again through the Zoo Interchange all the way to the county line. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Clear tonight, 47 near low by the lake, 39 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and cooler, a high of 60 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's sunny and 64 degrees. Meteorologist Brian Isnansky joins us with your full 5-day forecast, the chief meteorologist from TMJ4 News, in 5 minutes. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a DoorDash customer charged with vandalism will head to trial. 22-year-old Janiyah Jones faces a felony count of criminal damage to property. Prosecutors say the DoorDash driver was trying to deliver Jones's order but lost her phone signal, eventually canceling her order. She was then seen on surveillance footage going to the driver's home, throwing a brick at the driver's car, repeatedly smashing the vehicle with a tire iron. The damages totaled more than $10,000. Jones pled not guilty to the charge.
A teenager from Racine is charged with sexually assaulting a county courthouse employee. 17-year-old Joshua Meeks is accused of grabbing a woman from behind outside the courthouse. During the investigation, police learned of 2 other women who experienced similar incidences near the courthouse as well. Meeks made an initial court appearance Tuesday and faces charges of 4th-degree sexual assault and disorderly conduct.
7th day of government shutdown continues. Democrats looking for negotiations on expiring health care subsidies, while Republicans say they will not discuss it or other policies until the government reopens. Secretary of Labor speaking to CBS News about not being able to assemble statistics as well, such as labor and unemployment reports.
The modernization, the streamlining of those reports, accurate data points, whether it affects businesses, interest rates, the markets themselves. It's an important piece of information that we can have access to that now we don't have because of the shutdown.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says he is open to a measure providing pay for the military and essential workers who've been on the job during the shutdown, but there's no indication that would be acceptable to Democrats.
Millions of Americans could see increased health care prices as the government shutdown continues. The debate is over extensions for aid for people on the Affordable Care Act. Chief of Policy and Advocacy at Groundwork Collaborative, Alex Jaquez, tells WTMJ's Point Taken.
So they will expire on December 31st. If you are enrolled in the ACA exchanges, patients are going to lose some of their subsidies. And so we're going to see an average of 114% increase on out-of-pocket premium costs. We're going to see that spike to up to 600% for lower income families.
The window to negotiate ends on November 1st before prices increase for 2026.
The International Diabetes Federation asking for medical professionals to recognize type 5 diabetes. Medical College of Wisconsin President and CEO Dr. John Raymond tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News what this new version of diabetes is.
Their proposal is that type 5 diabetes should be used to refer specifically to malnutrition-related diabetes, which is believed to be a distinct form of severe insulin deficiency diabetes that arises from chronic undernutrition in childhood or adolescence.
Dr. Raymond says type 5 diabetes impacts more than 25 million people in the world, found in developing countries.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are 1 win away from advancing to the NLCS for the first time since 2018 after powering their way to a 7-3 win over the Cubs in Game 2. Quinn Priester gets the starting nod for Game 3 Wednesday. He hasn't pitched since September 26th against the Reds, but says he's itching to get back out on the mound with a chance at a sweep.
When I get a lot of time, I can want to tinker with stuff. I can feel certain things, but the whole thing is it's October and, we're not going to pull a magic pitch, out of thin air here. We just need to be really good and consistent with what we've been doing all year, knowing that that's going to create a good result.
The Brewers take the field Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field with a 4:08 first pitch on WTMJ. And the Cincinnati Bengals make a quarterback trade ahead of their Week 6 matchup against the Packers. And this is a familiar name. Joe Flacco heads to Cincinnati from Cleveland. Flacco and the Browns beat the Packers in Week 3. Cincinnati is expected to name their starting quarterback on Wednesday.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:37.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is Chief Meteorologist, the Chief for TMJ4 News. Brian Isnansky. Brian, it's beginning to feel like fall.
A feel to it, but it's still really nice outside. Good to see the sunshine today.
Yeah, but Niz, I just think that it kind of hit us so fast. It seems like it was just really hot, and then, well, I guess this is just a fabrication of my imagination, because in an hour it dropped, 15 degrees yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday it did hit quick. Yesterday we were 1 degree shy of what would technically be called a pneumonia front. It's not made up. It's a thing where we get these cold fronts to race down Lake Michigan. If it drops 16 degrees or more in an hour, then it's a pneumonia front. We dropped 15 degrees, as you mentioned. It was quick, but keep in mind, this is October. This is a lot more typical than what we were seeing for almost 2 weeks of a lot of 80s and even close to 90 degrees.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say something,
Oh,
Telly.
no. Go ahead.
No more 80s Telly. Sorry.
I know. But, I mean, Niz said there's still a chance. So,
I mean, an outside chance. It wouldn't be out. It wouldn't be out of question. We have all the record highs in the month of October are basically in the 80s. So, never say never. I think it's going to be tough, though. Our next days that we could hit the 70s look like early next week, Monday and Tuesday. So there's, I guess, our next chance where we get a little bit closer. But right now it looks to be topping out in the 70s. These cooler nights ahead and warmer, well, not warm, but sunny days will be the perfect recipe to get the fall colors going across southeastern Wisconsin. I think it's beautiful. I hate what comes after that, where everything just looks dead, until we get a fresh snowfall. But fall is here. Kind of snuck up on us after the warm weather that we've had.
I have a poem that I remember from first grade about November weather. Do you want me to hear it? You want to say it?
Sure, go for it.
No green grass, no blue skies, no bare feet running by, no birds, no bees, no leaves on trees, November. I still remember that.
Wow. That's all
that
true.
That was very poetic.
November. Nothing.
I thought you.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought you were going to rhyme with grass. I'm glad you didn't.
No.
So, Niz, more importantly, what is the weather going to be in Chicago for Game 3 for all the fans that will take the train down on the Brewers Express that will end up on the north side? What is the weather looking like for Game 3?
It looks good. You're going to want a sweatshirt, though. Game time, late afternoon, 4 o'clock and on. I think starting off, maybe you get away with no sweatshirt. Temperatures in the 60s, sunshine. But by sunset, Later on in the evening, it's going to get quite cool. Temperatures falling back into the 50s. It should be a beautiful night for October baseball. No concerns, no rain in the forecast. If you're heading down, enjoy. Bring home a victory. Let's bury the Cubs while we have the chance. Don't open that door back up a little bit.
Yes, please. Okay, Niz, take us home with the 5-day.
Okay, so for tonight, mainly clear skies in Chile, a low of 48 degrees, inland 40. Yeah, 40 degrees tonight. There could even be some spots well inland west of Waukesha that dip into the 30s. For tomorrow, sunny but cool, a high of 62. Thursday, mostly sunny, pleasant, 64. Friday, a slight chance of a shower in the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, a high of 64. And then Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 63 degrees. Some nice fall weather ahead.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Check him out at 6 o'clock on TMJ4 News. Brian, talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, sounds good,
you
guys.
Know what,
we'll
Brian? I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow because the Brewers game is going to be going on.
Okay.
So now I
think
don't
we'll
have to
okay
text
with that.
Brian. Me too. Me too. All right, thanks, Brian.
Go
Talk to you
Brewers.
Friday.
See ya.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors delivers. We swept the People's Choice Awards. Best roofing, best siding, best windows, and best overall home improvement company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard with expert craftsmanship, top materials, and service that keeps homeowners coming back. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com and experience the difference today.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which by the way is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We could say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Lazaga.
Southbound on 43, we've got backups from Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring, then back on the brakes from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. So keep that in mind. 794 eastbound right in the Marquette. We've got a crash on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Northbound on 4394 slowing down basically from Beecher Street all the way up through the Marquette all the way to Locust. Westbound 94, a little tight right through the stadium, back on the brakes west of Highway 100 to about Elm Grove Road, and then from Barker Road all the way to Highway 16. On the eastbound side, we got delays from just before Highway 100 through the Zoo Interchange all the way to 35th. Still pretty heavy on the southbound side of 41, starting at Blue Mound Road all the way down to the Hale Interchange on the bypass. So give yourself tons of time for that. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From sidelines to the locker room.
This is unlike anything else that's ever happened in franchise history. Now, I know what I'm saying when I say that.
And everything in between.
How many times are you going to come to my press conference late? We got a rule in the team meeting. You don't interrupt the meeting. Sit your butt outside.
No one covers the team like Jason Wilde.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, but I don't do enough politicking.
It's time to get caught up on the green and gold on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Always good to have our good friend ESPN's Jason Wilde on for our Green and Gold Insiders. What up, Jason? How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's not good, Telly. It's never good because, you know, I love you. I've been a fan of yours and a friend of yours since you were doing the Brewers games. Everyone knows how good you are at what you do. But every time I just feel so inadequate when you're filling in and I hear that voice of yours and then think, imagine if Wilde and Tausch got to hear such a great voice for 3 hours as opposed to my whiny, screechy voice that I have. I'm always so jealous when you fill in.
I know. His voice is so good.
Well, thank you, Jason, as always, but I don't know what to do. I've had this voice since I was about 11, 12 years old, man.
Really?
So, yeah. It wasn't always pretty, Julia. I mean, when I would call girls in high school that if their dad answered the phone, they thought I was 35, and I had to pretty much swear up and down that I was in the same chemistry class as their daughter. My gosh, so it hasn't always been the greatest thing. But Jason, it looks like the Cincinnati Bengals wanted to try and see if Joe Flacco could beat the Packers 2 times in 4 weeks because they just traded for him. And I believe you don't trade for a 40-year-old quarterback to make him a backup. I think he might end up starting Sunday's game. But what did you think of that when you heard the news that Joe Flacco could possibly face the Packers once again?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And by the way, thanks for sharing that story about calling girls dads because now at least there's one drawback to sounding as good as you do. I'll say this. I saw this, and first of all, you're 1,000% right. They are trading for him to start on Sunday. That's why you make the trade today. So then you have him get in the building today, and then he's got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's practices to really get ready and get immersed in Zach Taylor's offense. And of course, the Bengals coach is the son-in-law of former Packers coach Mike Sherman, which is a funny little piece of trivia. But look, I did not think he was very impressive, obviously, in that Packers-Browns game a couple weeks ago. You know, the Packers really beat the Packers. It wasn't Joe Flacco who beat them. But they needed to do this. I was talking with Xavier McKinney yesterday, and the Packers are really frustrated that they have emphasized the importance on defense of taking the ball away. And through 4 games, they have 2 interceptions and no fumble recoveries. And they were looking at Jake Browning, the fill-in starter for the Bengals, saying, all right, now's our chance. This guy's thrown 8 picks in basically 3.5 games. Let's go get him. And that's why he's not going to be the starter on Sundays, because Zach Taylor said, look, we can't keep turning the ball over like this. And that's why they traded for Joe Flacco. And it barely cost them anything. They basically got a pick back for the pick they gave up. So they basically just moved back a few spots in the draft to make this work. And they are desperate to stay afloat until Joe Burrow gets back.
Gosh, it seems like training camp was so long ago when we would talk, and every day the emphasis was on turnovers and taking the ball away and punching it away. And that's an alarming stat to know that only 2 interceptions and no fumble recoveries through the first 4 games. And after the first 2 games, people were already booking their Super Bowl tickets to Santa Clara. And after a tie, that bye week looked like it came right on time. And Jason, you always have some offline conversation with a player or have a story of some sorts. Is there anything that came out of that tie that is worth mentioning, or just a reaction from a player that, after that tie and going into a bye week, I'm sure they didn't think that's where they'd be sitting 2-1-1 after the first 4 games?
No, they definitely didn't think that. And it's funny that you said what you did about booking Super Bowl tickets, because one of the things McKinney said the week of the tie, like even before that, after they'd lost to the Browns, was that we had too many guys in here who thought by starting 2-0, we just had punched our ticket to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was really irritated, and that's a captain and a leader saying that to a reporter. Like he didn't hold that back and just say it privately. He put it out there publicly on the record. So I do think they've, the younger guys on that team, the ones that have had less experience, I think they did get a little bit big for their britches. And maybe one of the things that they were able to do with this bye week was to hit the reset button. But, in the conversations I had yesterday with Rashawn Gary and Evan Williams, they're kind of looking at the bye as a double-edged sword. Yeah, it came at a decent time, and they got a few guys that are banged up. But now they got to play 13 straight games in 13 weeks. That is a long stretch when you're trying to build toward the playoffs. So they're going to have to figure out a way to, kind of modify practices late in the season, because you'd really love for that bye to come, week 9, 10, 11. There was a few years ago when it came in week 14 and they only had 4 games left in the schedule, and that was too late. But this feels way too early, and I'm very curious to see what it does for their schedule, and then what kind of injuries they're dealing with in November and December.
Wow. How's Christian Watson looking?
He looked great. He looks like Christian Watson. He said, I want to be 100% me. And again, the practice on Monday was a light practice. It's not real football. He's going to practice tomorrow. He's going to practice Thursday without assuming there's no setbacks. He is not giving up hope on playing on Sunday. That feels to me like rushing it a little bit. They opened up a 21-day window for him to practice, so he can basically practice the next 3 weeks and then play after that. I'm guessing it'll be sometime before the last day of the window, but I'm not convinced that he'll play this week. I think they'll probably hold him out at least another week or two and let him get more practice under his belt.
Wow, Jason, when you put it that way, 13 weeks, 13 straight games, and this bye is really gearing them up for that. And how do you think this bye week has treated the Packers in their preparation for the Cincinnati Bengals, who will come to Lambeau on Sunday, a team that has lost a few and really searching for something? And they're, of course, looking for a game to turn things around, which, in my opinion, makes them a dangerous team.
It does, and I'm sure that I'm sure there were guys, they wouldn't say it, of course, but I'm sure there were guys like Jamar Chase and Higgins that were frustrated with the way the offense was operating. I mean, they're used to Joe Burrow, who's a former, number 1 overall pick and a former Super Bowl quarterback. So I think this will probably give them a burst of energy. But, the crazy thing, and we'll talk to Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator, on Thursday. I'm super curious. This has never happened before, I don't think, where a guy has been traded, a quarterback has been traded and then plays against the same team just a couple of weeks after he played against them with his previous team. So I'm really eager to talk to Jeff Hafley and ask him, okay, how much is there carryover? Is there anything that you learned during that Browns game that you're now you can apply to this game, even though he's in a different offense? It's just like you said at the very beginning, it's just a crazy thing that's happened today.
He is our Green and Gold insider, Jason Wilde. He hosts Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Milwaukee. Listen from 9 to noon. You can also catch incredible articles of Jason's on channel3000.com. Jason, thank you so much.
All right, great to catch up with you guys. Take care. Be good.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The local makery is proposing adding a wine bar to its space on Ludington Avenue in Wauwatosa. The wine bar would include indoor service in the 610 square foot workshop and outdoor seating in the 670 square foot front yard. Harmon Schools of Science and Technology is halfway to its fundraising goal for its new $55 million high school project. The school has raised